Hello and happy Sunday. Welcome to Life Support, everybody. It's your girl, Renee Ruffin. Hope you guys have been having a great weekend. We are going to continue our discussion today on our series about strategies on how to play to win in life. I had mentioned to you guys that we were going to have some athletes join us, and I am honored today to have my son, Nick Ruffin, who is an athlete. He played at Auburn University for the last 4 years. And he's going to talk to us a little bit about game planning and how to game plan for life. But before we get started, I want to just say thanks for joining your mom. Very good to have you, young man. You want to give me a handshake?
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Listen, I'm excited to have you. I really am. I think, and you know I've always told you that I really believe that a lot of football, in fact I know, parallels to life. And so I love the game not only because of the competitive nature and the environment and the tailgating and all the fun stuff, but the lessons learned, right?
Right.
And so when I was talking or thinking about the strategies for playing to win, one of the things that I thought about is the fact that we really do have to have a game plan of our life, which I kind of refer to as a vision.
Of course.
And you came to mind. And I'm going to embarrass you for a minute real quick.
Oh, Lord.
Do you remember this?
I definitely remember it for sure.
So this is Nick in 2002 playing for the Alpharetta Eagles Youth Football League here in our hometown. And when I love this Heisman move on him, this kid told us back in the early 2000s that he was going to play football in the SEC. He had a vision and a game plan for his life. And you know, I'm going to be honest with you, at that time we were like, whatever. We just thought he was a kid that likes to run over people. He loved to hit. He played both ways, so he could, you know, score touchdowns and all that, but he really enjoyed hitting. And believe it or not, he started off playing linebacker, which was very interesting. But he was determined that he was going to get to the SEC. And in doing so, he made it there. So talk to us a little bit about your journey. By the time you finished high school, you were a 4-star recruit, the #1 safety in the state of Georgia. And how many Division I offers did you have by the time you finished school?
I think in total I finished at about 48, close to 50.
50 Division I offers for a little snotty-nosed kid that weighed, I'm just joking, well, your nose was snotty, but anyway, how much did you weigh at that time?
I was about 5'10" when I graduated high school, 170 pounds soaking wet on my best day.
That's serious stuff, because in my mind, I consider SEC to be kind of like the Rolls Royce of college football. There's nothing anymore. I think the SEC and NFL kissing cousins, right?
It's pretty close.
Pretty close.
About as close as you can get.
So, how'd you make that happen, dude? And we talk about game planning for a kid. Let's see, 2002, you were born in 96, so you were 6 years old. For a 6-year-old kid to say, Mom, Dad, I'm going to play in the SEC and do it? How did you map your life? How'd you get there? Talk to me about your journey.
I think all people have a God-given and an innate sense of what they really want to be in life, even at a young age. You can tell by the way kids play with toys or how they react to certain things what really brings them joy. For me, it was football, and I've always known that from watching ESPN Classics at 2 years old. Something that I always knew that I had an affinity for. And
I want you to watch Barney.
I refused. Barney.
You did refuse.
I don't need no big purple dude trying to hug me. I don't want that.
Okay.
So with that in mind, and once I kind of knew what my calling was in life and where I needed to be, I kind of set my goal on that. I set my sights on it, and I never let that dream go. I still remember days where I go out with Dad or ask Dad to go outside and throw with me, or I'll lay in the room and throw the ball up 150 times at 7 years old and try and catch with one hand. Or, you know, watch football with my dad or with my brother and try and understand what they were seeing. You know, growing up, I'm sure you remember sitting on the couch on Saturdays, Dad and Aaron both saying, well, this quarterback going to throw 3 picks today, and he's going to throw 2 today, and then this team's going to win. And we both sitting and looking at each other like, how did they know that? And it would come to fruition somehow, some way. It happened. And with that in mind, knowing like, okay, I have two men around me who know football like no other. Well, let me learn from you as much as I possibly can, because that's where I want to be in life. And at a young age, knowing that and realizing that there's this motto that I saw when I was 11 years old at Northview High School where Aaron played. And I learned...
What was the motto?
The motto was, hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard.
Wow.
And
Wait,
seen
give me that one more. What was that?
hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard. And
serious.
with that in mind, I knew that the fact that I was already good at football, I had an affinity for it, I loved to hit, I loved running the ball, scoring touchdowns, and all that stuff was great. I knew that in order for me to reach the pinnacle of where I wanted to be, that I had to work hard. It wasn't just about me being good. The all-star games and stuff like that, that was great. That's cool, that's all the accolades is fun. That's fun and that's great. But if I want to reach the pinnacle of greatness, Hall of Fame, All SEC, All American type thing, I have to work hard. It's not just going to come to me because there's a 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 million people who play football. What separates the few hundred that are in the Hall of Fame from the rest of the people that ever put on a uniform? The fact that they outworked the rest of the people who are probably just as talented, if not more. So for me, what got me to where I was the idea of working hard and working towards a goal and never relinquishing that goal, regardless to what somebody said to me, or regardless to how somebody else felt, or regardless to the days that I felt like, maybe it's not for me, or the injuries that I suffered, or the frustrations that I suffered. Just never relinquishing the fact that I knew this is what was for me, and I'm not going to let anybody take it from me, not even myself.
Now, that's serious. So you had such a passion for what you wanted to do in life that you refused to even allow you to steal that dream from yourself.
Exactly.
So is it safe to say that a game plan is kind of like a vision for your life?
Most definitely.
And so you adopted that vision, and everything you've said, from watching ESPN Classics to being around your older brother. And I can certainly tell you, I remember, I don't know if you remember, he used to wear his jerseys to their football practice, and even when he played youth ball, you were the water boy, you knew all the plays, you told the guys when they were out of position. You were like 3 or 4 years old, but I don't know if you remember, his team actually gave you their MVP award at the age of 4 years old. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Then you didn't remember going to practice with him at Northview High School and watching, his teammates, and everybody knew who you were, and you told them when they were out of position. So it sounds to me like you just kind of encamped yourself around all things football once you locked in to the fact that that's what you wanted for your life. Is that safe to say?
Definitely.
So why do you think it's important to leverage or be around people that have an affinity for what you enjoy doing? Why did you do that? Why did you intentionally decide to position yourself around certain things and people?
I think for me it was understanding that in order for me to reach where I want to go, I have to surround myself with like-minded people. Even with Aaron's teammates, there were guys who were going to Division I schools. There were guys who had football lineage, from Coach Tuggle and all those guys who played in the NFL already. With people who know how to get where I want to be, it was important for me to be around and learn as much as I possibly could. And I knew that from a very, very young age, and I never once relinquished that. And once I was around them, it was about soaking up as much as I possibly could, even at 11, 12, 13 years old.
Like-minded people. So I guess it's safe to say that those were stakeholders or people that shared,
experts
in the field that you wanted to be in. You understood the importance of doing that.
Definitely.
That's a conversation all by itself, right?
Of course.
Because I think it's something a lot of people miss. So can I ask you a favor?
Of course.
Would you be willing to come back and do a follow-up session and talk a little bit more about game planning? Because we got a lot more to go. I haven't even tipped the iceberg, but I think you got a lot to share that might help some folks in life.
Anything from my mama.
Oh. See, y'all, he just made my Sunday and thanks for his mama. Loan me $50 till Jesus come back. except for his money. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. We are going to finish game planning with Nick Ruffin next week. Listen, I'm serious. We have a lot more to go. There's so much I think we can leverage from this young man and his experience in achieving his goals. Because, hey, at the end of the day, we all have something that we aspire to do. And I truly believe that developing a strong game plan for your life is the way that you accomplish that. Because a game plan brings your future to your present. With that being said, you know how I do. Walk firm enough to leave a footprint and straight enough to pave a path. Until next week, be blessed and be easy.